Okay, 10 millimeter. First thing you want to do is take the dikes, okay? If you look over here, you've got 1, 2, 3 hog rings that hold this front on. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got some upholstery work we're going to do today. This is very easy. If it's available for your specific car, some of which it isn't, like that Riviera we got out there, we have the seats being redone in an upholstery shop, but these are for my dually. You can actually buy factory style leather and vinyl seat covers for them. I did this one the other day to get an idea how it was going to go, and we're going to show you exactly what's involved in taking this one apart and putting new upholstery from the seat shop on it. This one here, I put new foam in it. This side I can't do because they sent me, again, they sent me 2 driver's side seat foams, which is kind of odd because I got 2 headrests, 2 armrests, 2 bottoms, 2 backs, and 2 driver's side. I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm just, this is the passenger side. It's still in pretty good shape. So we're going to use that. So not very many tools that you're going to need. Let's see. Got hog ring pliers. Got some hog rings here, but the seat kit does come with additional hog rings. And I'm going to show you, like I said, how to take them all apart, put it back together. It's fairly easy. And then we've got new seats for the dually. So we'll go. These are actually out of Suburban, same vintage, OBS. So they're going to bolt right in. That's going to give me power seats, lumbar, leather. I've got new carpet for it. The back seat out of the Suburban's good, so we're going to use that in place of the back seat of the dually. So let's get started. I'm going to take this one out of the way because it's done and clean. So we'll put it down here out of the way. Some of the stuff I used, spray adhesive, because I did tear a piece of the backing, glued it back together with that, the foam, because I didn't realize there were a couple of hog rings there. So you get a set of dikes, you can cut your old hog rings, have a couple of picks, various, I got a right angle and a couple of straight ones, a Phillips screwdriver, a flat screwdriver, a pair of needle nose pliers, and a pair of scissors. 10 millimeter wrench to, we got to take the seat frame out to get to one side where it's hog ring, and then some razor blades. And really that's about it. The hardest part of this whole program is this armrest. On the earlier style Chevy trucks, there was a special rub your tummy, pat your head thing you had to do to get these off. These actually have a horseshoe clip like a window crank on the inside. So it can be a little tricky, but let's see. The first thing you got to do is take just a small flat pick, and there, if you look in your headrests, there's a small hole right here, and you just push in, and that headrest is going to lift a little bit on that side, and it comes right out and then hits you in the head. Now these actually go down through the support on the seat frame itself. I'm going to show you. We're not concerned about the old upholstery, so just in the essence of saving some time, I'm going to cut a little bit of it so I can show you exactly what we're dealing with. You want to be careful. If you're going to do it this way, you want to be careful that you're just slicing into the seat material and not slicing into the foam. So those pieces right there, those are your headrest supports. But like I said, they go down inside, and I'll show you when we get the backing off. But the first thing you're going to want to do is put the seat up on its back. Take your 10 millimeter. All right, that side I don't have to do. This side, we got to do a little bit here. So you got a 10 millimeter bolt here. Actually, this one, yeah, I got to take it off because it goes underneath there. Let me get a socket. You're going to need a 10 millimeter socket too. Driver's seat's slightly different than the passenger seat because that one is a 6-way power seat. This one just has lumbar, that's it. So cut, and I'll be right back. This side has 4 hog rings that you have to cut these. And then this side, if you look at it, we'll show you a little closer when, here, come over here. Just stay in one spot. I'll move the seat if I have to. This side is just plastic and it clips over some metal. So first thing you want to do is just cut this free. If they did a good job of putting these hog rings on, they can be a little difficult to get to. Make sure they're all off of there, and do yourself a favor. I haven't done it, but I can see it happening. When you cut these little pieces of hog rings away, get them away from where you're working on your seat, because you're going to be moving this seat around a lot, and you definitely don't want to have one of them stick into your seat cover. So this one, apparently all I'm going to have to do is just loosen this 110 millimeter in the seat track. Just enough to get that cloth out of there. And then you can tighten that back up. That's off. And this side, this is going to be the last side that you take off, because that clips on. So that's pretty easy when I show you how to do that. And take your seats out. Now, this new seat covers don't come with any of these holes cut, so that's something you want to be a little careful with. Like Matt showed you with the carpet on the Corvette, you just cut a little bit. Try it, cut a little bit, try it. Save yourself the aggravation of ruining your seat covers, and just be careful with all this. That's all right. And then this side here just has 2 vacuum lines and the power for your lumbar support. We can actually just leave it right like that. We don't even have to take it off. So then this behind here, if you look right here, this piece of plastic clips into another piece of plastic. I'm going to pull it apart and show you what I'm talking about. Actually, it is slightly different than the driver's side seat. What this piece of plastic does is it clips over this rod here in your seat frame, and that's what's going to hold your seat backing in place. See, it's got some Velcro. Just reach down in here, grab it wherever you can. And pull it loose. Comes off your foam. You got to take your seat back adjuster off, which I should have done before, but I didn't. Put it off to the side. Just come, watch your foam, don't tear your foam. This you can take a razor blade here, cut it, makes it easier for that switch to pass through. And if you see, the new seat has Velcro. The foam pad in the bottom has some Velcro, and your new seat cover is going to come with the opposite side of the Velcro. That way when you put the seat together, you push it down in there and it maintains the shape and the pleats that go in the seat. So be very careful to hold the Velcro down with your hand when you pull this off, because keep in mind this truck's a 96, so it's been on there for a while. Lay it up on its side. And remember, I told you that it just has some plastic that just clips around a piece of metal. And I forgot one hog ring. And there you go. There's the bottom of the seat cover. So it actually only takes a couple minutes to get the bottom piece off. And the top, this is the piece here that I was talking about that actually has two plastic pieces that clip together. Just get it out of there. And see, we'll show you when we go to put it back together. You have to pull this one up and fold that one over, and it clips into that one, holds everything in place. So upholstery is not as intimidating on newer cars as it is on some of the older ones. So we push that through, roll the seat back up. Through here so you got some access to it. Now there's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 there and 3 or 4 here hog rings, and that's as far as I recall, that's going to be the only hog rings that are on this seat. So when we go to put it back together, you pull down, do this row of hog rings, pull it further down, do this row of hog rings, and then get your back in place. Again, being careful of your foam, because if you see, the foam comes like this, so the leather seat cover that you have is actually down here smaller than here. So you've got to compress the foam. Just start to pull it up like that until you got it free. Well, come here, I'm going to show you, just to make it easy, I'm going to show you where this armrest connects. And again, be careful when you're cutting this leather, because it is right up tight with your foam there, and you don't want to cut that foam because it will imprint when you put the seat back on. You also have to be careful if you look, just because over time it's stuck. So hang on. Now this foam right here, this foam actually is on the inside of the seat cover. This is the foam you want to be careful of back here, because that's your seat biscuit that you're going to be reusing. I'll take it off of there to show you how to replace that foam, even though we're not going to do it. And then come over here. See in there? There's a horseshoe clip. Can you see it? Yeah, right there. Just like on a window crank. Put this that flat screwdriver. Just pop that horseshoe clip out of there. Like I said, it's just like on a window, for a window crank for an old car. Set that aside so you don't lose it. Give that a nice even pull. One thing that we did run into on the other seat, you want to clean this up. Take it over to your wire wheel, what have you. Clean this all up and just put a little bit of grease on it when you put it back together. That way it pops right in and stays locked in. The armrests it's a zippered cover. As you can see, this one's completely upholstered. This has a zippered cover, so technically you do the headrest and the armrest, the covers go right over whatever you have, whether it's ripped, whatever. You can do whatever you need to do. If you got a tear down here, wrap it in some duct tape, whatever you want to do, and then this goes over the top of it. And then just continue to work this up over that foam. Takes a minute to get it up over there, because like I said, it does fit really tight on there, but that's what gives your seat the shape. If it was loose, it just looked like an AutoZone seat cover, and we're not going for that. This is actual upholstery versus a seat cover. Be careful when you're ordering stuff, because stuff might say seat cover and it's actually a seat cover. You need to read the whole ad, because they may try and be misleading. And I'm going to take my razor blade . Cut right there. It's just going to make it easier to get it off so you can see. Over here, where I told you there's hog rings that you have to, if you look right here, let me get this a little further up. some hog rings right here. There's a vinyl covered metal piece that goes in there that holds the back of your seat in place. So you want to cut these 3 out. That takes care of those 3. Make sure it's loose because you don't want to rip that foam, because if you just try and tear that foam or tear the leather cover off that foam, you're going to end up doing some damage that you don't want to do. But because we're not super concerned with the old seat cover, we can just cut this to make it easy. So we want to hang in there. And again, like I said, the Velcro that's down in the grooves, you want to hold that as you're pulling the seat cover off so you don't rip that foam. Now they do sell complete backs, complete bottoms, everything, but I'll show you. They're not really held in there other than just by the metal itself. So there's your seat frame. If we were doing a restoration on a car, we would more than likely take this all apart, clean it, paint it, all that, but it's just a shop truck. So I'm not super concerned. And we got that one. That one. Now, we got one here that's not playing nice. You gotta And again, like I said, all these little pieces, make sure they're out of the way. The other seat, when I took it apart, however it happened, I don't know. I got 36 cents out of it. So, again, like I said, be careful of your Velcro. See how that's stuck on there? Whoever invented Velcro was a pretty smart guy. And the thing about it is, if you just try and grab this and rip it off of there, you're more than likely going to rip it away from the foam before you get that off. So there's that. Let me show you what I'm talking about, your headrests, okay? See how they go down through, a piece of pipe, click in. This is always your front. Keep those holes towards the front of the seat. And then pop that one out. And there's the back. So as you can see, it's really not that difficult to get them apart. This biscuit comes off just the same way as that one did. It just basically fits around the metal, and that's what holds it in place. This is your lumbar support. It's just kind of like a catheter bag, except it's full of air versus being full of something else. So there's that. I'm gonna show you how to put it back together. This houses the compressor. It's just a small compressor to fill up the lumbar support. Get all of your old pieces of O-ring anywhere. Get them out of there because they're going to jam you up later if they're in the way. So there's that. Now this seat does have, like right there, you see where the Velcro came up a little bit? This is where you can use some of your upholstery adhesive. Just spray it both sides and walk away from it. Don't try and stick it down. Just let it sit for a minute. See this one right here? See how that came up? Like that. Just a little bit on both sides. That one's going to go right back to where it belongs anyway. And that's that. So it really isn't a super difficult thing to do to get the seat apart. We'll put the back on. We'll leave this off for now. Show you how to put the back on here in a couple minutes. But that's that. Cut. Just go ahead and let go. What we are going to do is just do it the right way, and we'll pull this off of here for now. And just make it a little bit easier for us to get to those hog rings, because you do not want them coming. You don't have to take that apart. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Over here. Yeah. We're not upholstery professionals yet, but we play one on TV.
We learn new stuff every day.
Every day. If you're not learning stuff,
it's called hot riding.
Doing this, I mean, you can watch us and learn, or you can do it yourself and learn. However you want to do it, it don't matter as long as you're learning something. My problem is I've learned so much that now I have to forget stuff to make room. And I don't know what it is, so at some point I'm going to go do something. I'm not going to remember how to do it because I had to forget it to remember how to do this. You feel me? And with that out of the way, look how easy it works. See? So sometimes we can struggle with doing things the way we want to do them, and then sometimes we can struggle with doing them the right way.
Either way,
it's a struggle. The struggle is real. Okay, here we go.
What you
so
see?
Now we go.
Fight that spring. Is it right here?
Yes.
Oh. Hold up, man. Just start in the front and
you can't
tuck it back into there.
We could, but again, that's doing things the right way, and it just take more time.
I don't like the right way either.
No.
I don't like instructions. My motto is, if one man can do it, why can't I?
Right.
One man done it without instructions at one point.
At some point.
So
But can you imagine the pile of stuff they threw away?
Did they waste money? They wasted.
that under there.
How much them hog ring pliers cost?
I don't know. I got them on Amazon, about 20 bucks with hog rings. But it's like I said.
I would buy some, but I really hate interior work.
Yeah, I do too. It's not cool.
I'm good at tearing it all out and somebody else put it back together.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is also over here, I'm going to go ahead and remove this hog ring that I put in that kind of held things in place for me. I didn't make a mistake. I did it on purpose. You want to fold that edge up a little bit. Give this a good pull around here. And there you go, just like that. Now, whatever I did with my hog ring pliers. Oh yeah, they're in the hog ring plier holder. Makes good sense, doesn't it?
And forgetting something.
And then this edge right here that comes from the side of the seat and this, try and get them both when you go around.
The thingamajigger.
And then it holds it all together nice. Give it a pull. Then this goes around like such. Grab another hog ring. When I was a kid, we used to build forts and we were always straightening nails out, you know, to build a fort. These come pre-bent. So grab both of them pieces around metal there. I'm going to do one more.
See how strong that pinky is right there? I guarantee I got the strongest pinky in the world. Just saying. I could pull a clutch in with that thing.
It's kind of weird. And there we go. Okay. A lot of times you'll see when you take these apart, there's two of them. That's because the dude making $70 an hour with the UAW screwed up too.
Yeah.
This really isn't done by machine, as far as I know, unless somebody can
Probably some Asian
explain to me. And then this side. Just goes over that metal.
Let's see.
And then pull it back towards you once you get it over the metal. You may be too low. There you go. And boom, the bottom of the seat's done.
Boom.
Just like that.
Boom.
So fine Corinthian leather seating surfaces for El Blanco Grande.
They make a steamer that you can steam some of a lot of these are supposed to be here, but
Yeah, but around here and stuff, you can steam the leather, not the vinyl. But you can steam the leather and get some of these wrinkles out of
I've
it.
seen them do that before.
I actually,
Your butt will steam it too.
yeah, I'm actually to the point where I really don't care.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It really does.
And then this, you can see where your back adjuster, just give it a little X, poke it through, find the screw that you lost previously,
Good.
put it in there, find a Phillips screwdriver that I was just about to blame on Austin losing. If you look, see how it's notched? This piece here is notched. It only goes one way. So you put it on there, tighten it up, boom, the back's done. The other thing I have to cut out for now is the lumbar, which you can feel it, it's right here. So we're going to take and see if we can ruin this seat by cutting right here. Could use sharp razor blades too. That's a thing. They do that.
There's some new ones right there. You need one? Heavy duty.
Switch. Looks like hell, don't it? Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Get your leather tucked in behind it. Just like that.
Boom.
Boom. Take your screws. This is, if any ever done carpet in a car, it's like trying to find that hole in the sill plate. Nearly impossible. But you'll find it. You'll feel the screws start pulling in. Then you know you got it in the right spot. And if that one's in the right spot, then this one's more than likely going to be in the right spot. Or relatively close, or you'll have to figure something else out, one of the three. But there you go, just like a factory seat. So there's the bottom. We're going to take a little break and we'll get back on the top and show you how that works, and putting the armrest back in, which we battled with yesterday. But that's just because we're stupid. Then we figured out the easy way to do it. And then I'm going to show you how to put these headrest pins in. And then we got 2 seats ready for the dually. I got new carpet for it. I got the back seat out of the Suburban that's going to go in to match these. Door panels with the power switches and everything. It's going to end up being pretty sweet inside that truck. So there you go. Okay, here's your armrest. You want to make sure that when you put this on, that your seams, your stitch seams are going to be the same. So these I've used the, no, that's right, okay. I think they might have sent me two. Oh, there we go. It just goes over like this. Kind of like a hot dog casing on those high-dollar German hot dogs. You get this side pulled up. You don't want to cut a hole for this yet, because you don't know where it's actually going to end up until you have the armrest covered. It ain't easy. This up and over onto the back, and then this The reason why they fit so tight is you don't want them to be all sloppy when you get them in the car. You want it to look nice. So this is about where this is going to go. So because you can see it, we're going to cut an X in it right there, pop it through. That makes it easier to get this end up, which is not easy, but it goes. And then work your zipper down like that. If you need to relieve this a little bit, you can go ahead and do that now. This is all going to be covered, so you're in pretty good shape as long as you don't cut it all the way up here. There's that. There's a groove right here that's your stop and your guide. For the armrest going up and down, it'll only go so far. So you can just cut a relief in it like that, it's fine. We got a little piece right here we're gonna cut off. And then what I've also done on the other seat is that zipper's kind of unsightly. Don't really need that on there because I'm not taking them off anymore, so I'll just go ahead and cut that off of there, slide it out, push that in, boom, covered. So when this goes on the car, you know, somebody knowledgeable is going to know they've been recovered because you can see. But give this just a little twist, however you got to make it fit. And there's your armrest. That's as easy as it is to cover the armrest. Headrest is the same way. Give it a minute and I'll stretch that one on there for you. All right, we got the back foam back on it again. Like I told you, it's got the Velcro in here. And then the seat back, if you look at the seat back, it's got the Velcro in here. So basically, I'm gonna put this over.
Started the new back
Cut. Is we got to pull this cover down over the foam so the top is where it's supposed to be. And then we got to peel it back up so we can set the hog rings, and I'll show you that in a sec. Just work it back side to side like that. Just stay over there. It's not the easiest thing to work with, but it's also not $2,500 to get it done when you can do it yourself. Interiors can be one of the most expensive things that you do, especially on an older vehicle. These factory seat upholstery is still available. Yeah, it wasn't cheap. 2 complete front seats, about $1,200. But if you were to take it to an upholstery shop, it'd be twice that. So when you can take, it only take you about an hour, hour and a half to do each seat. And they really are nice. It's a nice set. And this piece right here, you tuck underneath the seat as you're pulling it down. You can see we're still not quite down yet. This side's giving us a little bit of a fit here. So, as you can see, our seams are pretty well lined up here, so we know we got this basically where it needs to be. This is for your armrest, it's going to tuck in there. We'll cut that shortly. But because because I've got to pull this back up, there's a row of hog rings that go here, and there's a row of hog rings that go here. So once we get the headrest in, which is going to keep this where it needs to be, we can do that. Or we can do it another way, where we just pull it back up, get to that, yank that down so it's where we want it to be, but we got to be careful to keep the seam correct. My other headrest is right here. Your seam goes towards, if you look like at your headrest, your seam goes across the top, comes around, it's the back. This is the rear of your headrest. So get that centered about where you think it goes, and you should be pretty correct. This is the scary part. Let me correct that. This is one of the scary parts. When you start cutting into the new seat cover, like I said, scary part. Just go ahead and cut it like an X. You put your finger down in there and you can feel, I know you can't see it, but you can feel exactly where it's supposed to go. Take one of these. And there you go. There's that one. So now it's going to be real easy to figure out where the other one goes. Just give it a little X.
You hungry, ain't you?
Yeah. And then,
Tell.
isn't he getting ready to make us some sandwiches?
I think so.
I don't have enough bread. Whatever you want to have sandwich.
You don't have enough bread for you. For us, he's got plenty. You made me one the other day. I was pretty happy about that.
But did it have a bunch of Miracle Whip stuff on there?
No, I think he put mayonnaise on it. I'm not sure.
I don't like that Miracle Whip.
No, it's no miracle. All right, then once you got it where it's supposed to be, just give it a little pop. The springs will open up, the plastic will open up at the bottom. The headrest, we're going to cover that in a minute. But now what we got to do is bring this seat backing back out. Roll it up over your phone. Until you get to that's the bottom one right there. Okay, so this is your piece right here that you want to hog ring to this in 3 spots. Apprentice Austin hands me another hog ring. Make sure that you not only get the reinforced piece on the back of the seat, but that it goes around the rod that's in there as well. Okay, so we got the top one. Now you want to pull down just a little bit to get the second one. This one's a little bit easier to get to once you start pulling things down. Just like that. Now, sit back up. Pull the cover that you've struggled both ways with on now. Pull it back down. Now, over here, come over here. This is the hole that our armrest goes in, okay? So you want to pull this seat cover over that spot. Where it's down where it's supposed to be. Like that. Like that. Okay. Now pull that back to your foam so you can feel it. Right here, this is the piece that's going to go in here and stop your armrest from moving further than where you want it. So we've got this pretty much where we want it. Cut yourself a little circle where that goes, okay? And now, you want to find that round hole. Sometimes you can't feel it. And don't go, it's probably right there, and stick a screwdriver through it to hold it in place. Double check, because you only get one shot on this. So we can pull it back up. Kind of reference where it is to that piece that you already cut to stick through. And it's just forward and down a little bit. So we're right here. Okay. Cut yourself a little X. There's our hole right there. But with this, you don't want any of the upholstery going into the hole where that pivot goes, because it will make it nearly impossible for you to get that hog ring to connect. So with your bad eyes and your fingers that don't work, you cut yourself out Little circle. You can use scissors. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. Every pair of scissors we have is dull, so that ain't gonna work.
And that hole is going to be covered up, right?
Yep. Okay, see? You got your hole right there. And that's your limiter. And if all goes according to plan, it's going to work real easy. I got to go get some sandpaper, clean this up. I'll be right back. I'll just take a little piece of sandpaper. Clean that up pretty good. And then take just a little bit of grease, and when I mean a little bit, I mean a little bit. And just put it on there. This way that horseshoe clip should slide over and grab that ridge right there. We had a problem with this yesterday, but we got it figured out. Make sure we're lined up over here. Put your armrest in, go over there on that side of the chair and hold it so it doesn't move. You're holding it, and then just give it a couple of good whacks. And there you go. Okay. So now we can finish pulling the upholstery down where it goes. Stick that underneath. Flip your seat up this way. Pull your bottom retainer through. And then this one simply goes, if you look, it's like a J channel, corresponding J channel, they just kind of lock together. Not as easy as it looks, but once you get it, it goes right together. Just like that. Just like that. And then pull your seat up.
No clip on the armrest.
Nope. And just like that, you got a seat. I'll show you the headliner, which is basically, again, follow your seams. The seams go around the back. There's your back, like such. And it just this is where you rip it and you learn all those words that your dad taught you in the garage when you were a kid.
Should I demonstrate?
No, I'm pretty sure everybody knows them.
Good. I'm good at those words.
I'm really good at them. I generally use them every other word because
too.
it builds emphasis. You know, if you just look at people and go, you're an idiot, that's one thing. But if you look at somebody and go, you're a idiot, they know
You really mean it?
you ain't playing.
No.
It is a pain. If you're on the methamphetamine, probably not the job to do because you're going to be in a hurry. And there. Once it goes, then all you gotta do is make sure it's right. This thing will come down just like that. So there is your headrest. Now, how this works, again with the J-clips, they go, oh, what have I done? Okay. That one clicks, so you hear it? You hear it? Fold that around. You hear it? You hear it? Nice, huh?
I had a revolver that would skip on every other shot. It'd be like pow, click, pow, click.
Not good in a gunfight.
Nah, I sold it at the pawn shop.
Stick that one in there. In your head, use some of them words because you're trying to bend your hands in a like an unnatural fashion.
As you can see here.
Basically like them old zigzag 1 1/4. You gotta fold the edge over. Ah, ah.
If you hear that noise though, you left a seed in. What was that comedian? Seeds popping up, burning them down.
Burning up my seats, clothes. Austin takes a big hit.
He did not.
What?
He's allergic to them cats he keep on cuddling with.
I know. Done got it. And then this goes in like that. Got the straight pick. Don't even need it. And there you go. There's a nice new seat for El Blanco Grande. Now we've got, get that cat out of my new seat. Flea bag. Put it down. But there's new seats for El Blanco Grande. Like I said, I've got carpet for it and doors and door panels and all that craziness. We're going to show you that in a future episode.
Yeah.